Back in the day, Lampang used to be a luscious valley of forests and wildlife. But because of mankind's actions, such as cutting down trees for timber or creating forest fires to make hunting easier, whether out of greed or ignorance, the forest is no longer healthy and unable to retain water. The forest slowly disappeared, and all that was left were the remnants of the once thriving ecosystem. The balance of nature was interrupted, and now constant occurrences of flash floods and droughts have become a main threat to the ecological stability of the area. The villagers were forced to live a life of insecurity, with their crops, livelihood, and homes constantly at risk of being destroyed. After researching this issue, His Majesty the King, King Bhumibol Adulyadej, introduced the concept of check dams to slow down the flow of water in order to help the soil retain moisture. Gradually, his ideas were carried out, and the forests began to regain their vigor. With healthier forests, the villagers are protected from both flash floods and droughts. With the help of Siam Cement Group, we, a group of 37 international students, traveled to Lampang to participate in the construction of these check dams. We didn't know much about check dams and nature conservation in general, but through this trip, we aimed to broaden our perspective of the environment and hope to be inspired by our new experiences. Here we go!
When we arrived, we were given a brief overview of check dams. Early in the morning, we hiked into the forest in Sa Sop Hok village of the Lampang province to build the dams. Even though it was hot, humid, and bug-infested, we were all moved by the passion the villagers had shown the previous day, and we, as a group, felt motivated to help them. There were many occasions where we had to adapt our methods to the environment we were working in and to the resources available. We found out that the location we picked to build our dams was key to both its effectiveness and the amount of labor that was required. Check dams are built using the available natural resources, such as bamboo, wood, and soil, across small rivulets located upstream, in order to slow down the water flow. By placing two stable logs a foot apart from each other in the path of water, a stable base for the check dam is created. Short sections of bamboo are then cut and stacked vertically across the logs to create a makeshift wall to slow down the flow of water. The bamboo is then hammered into the soil and secured by using nails and wire. After the walls are created on both logs, the inside of the dam is filled with dirt and other forest debris. By building these dams, we learned to work as a team. Everybody had different roles to which they contributed. Some were in charge of cutting the bamboo, while some were in charge of sharpening the ends of the bamboo sticks. Some were hammering the bamboo into the dirt. So we cut, hacked, hammered, and dug our way through the day. At the end of it all, although weary, we were very proud of our work. The villagers later told us that the underlying concept of these dams as introduced by His Majesty the King is to ปลูกป่าโดยไม่ต้องปลูก, which means plant a forest that plants itself. Before following the king's teachings, the villagers had tried to restore the forest by planting trees, but were not successful due to man-made forest fires and droughts. These check dams allow the forest to plant itself, creating a healthy water cycle which is much more sustainable than simply planting trees. These dams, by slowing down the flow of the stream, help the forest retain water. Furthermore, the dams catch the seeds of plants flowing downstream, and as time passes, the plant roots will permanently anchor the tiers created by the dams, forming natural dams. Eventually, the forest grows and becomes more proficient at retaining water. This decreases the chances of forest fires and droughts. The new healthy forest also prevents floods using its numerous trees and shrubs to absorb water. This is how natural dams work. In addition to protecting the village from droughts and floods, the newly restored forests have also provided the villagers with better foraging and wildlife. The mushrooms in the forest around the village sprout much earlier and are much more abundant than they do in the forests of other villages that do not build check dams. Of this, the villagers are very proud. The village community also greatly benefited from the actions of building these dams. By building the dams together as a community, the villagers learned teamwork and created strong bonds with each other. In our 2 days building dams, we felt this happening to ourselves, and saw firsthand how friendships could be created through working together. Building the dams helped the village become more of a community and gave the villagers pride in themselves and their work for the king and the forests. If there is water and no electricity, then the people can live. If there is no water and there is electricity, then people cannot live. In all, we built over 30 check dams in 2 days. We learned that little things can make a big difference. Our small dams will help an entire forest restore itself. We learned that with passion and determination, we can do incredible things. Although we were the youngest group that ever took part in this program, with elementary, middle, and high school students, through working together, we built more dams than the villagers had expected of us.